Welcome back to Learning Objective 2, Assigning Manufacturing Cost. So in this video, we will be using the job cost sheet to assign costs to work in process. Our focus will be raw materials and factory labor costs. All right, let's do this. When a company assigns manufacturing costs to work in process, the following entries are usually made. First, there is a debit made to work in process. Next, there is a credit made to raw materials inventory, factory labor, or manufacturing overhead, depending on which manufacturing cost is used for the job. So an essential accounting record used in assigning costs to jobs is called the job cost sheet. Okay? A job cost sheet is a form used to track the costs that are chargeable to a specific job and then to determine the total and then the unit cost of the completed job. Companies keep a separate job cost sheet for each job. So each job has a different cost job sheet. Now, the job cost sheet, we usually term that to be a subsidiary ledger for the work in process inventory account. Now, the work in process inventory account is a controlled account. A subsidiary ledger consists of individual records for each individual item. So it gives us a little bit more details of what was involved, right, in that job, in that material, as opposed to the work in process that is more or less a summary of what you have in the job cost sheet. So the work in process inventory account is also referred to a control account because it summarizes the detailed data regarding the specific jobs contained in the job cost sheet. So that's something that, just for emphasis sake. Now, each debit entry to the work in process inventory must be accompanied by a corresponding posting to one or more job cost sheets. Okay, so remember that the job cost sheet is for specific jobs. Okay, so brief exercise example 1, sorry, and then we have brief exercise 2.3. You can find that on page 233. As always, I will tell you, pause the video, okay, try it on your own to assign cost. Remember, when you're assigning cost, you are crediting the the raw materials, the factory labor, or the manufacturing overhead, and then assigning them to the work in process. Okay, so again, for this sake of this particular video we did, all we're dealing with is direct or raw materials and factory labor. In the next video, we're going to be talking about manufacturing overhead costs. So let's do this example together. In January, Deca Company requisitioned raw materials for production for the following jobs. So they had 3 jobs. They had first job, material was going to be 900. The second job, material was going to be 1,002. And then the third job, the material was going to be 700. And then general factory use materials is 600. Now, this general factory use again is your manufacturing overhead again, because we cannot link it up to a specific job. But again, for the sake of this video or this particular learning objective, our concern is just going to be the direct materials. Okay, all right. So as a January 1, we have our work in process. Again, when we're assigning, what we're doing is debiting our work in process and crediting the relevant manufacturing or product cost. So here we have work in process to be 2008. How did we come about 2,800? It is the addition of your 3 jobs. Okay, so that's gonna be 900 plus 1002 plus 700. That should give that. Again, our manufacturing overhead is not something we're dealing with for now because we cannot trace it to a particular job. And so we still have it to be 600 on the debit side, not yet assigned. And then our raw material assigned, because we're assigning it, is going to be on the credit side. It's a reduction in our assets, in our raw material assets, and that is going to be 3,400. Okay, all right. Any questions, please always let me know. And then we go into the next exercise, the next example. Example 2, brief exercise 2.4. Again, you can find that on page 233. Pause, try it on your own, and then move forward from it. Now, factory labor information for Deca Company is given in brief exercise 2.2. During January time, tickets show that manufacturing cost of labor 6,000 was used as follows. All right, so this is labor. For the first job, we have 2,200. For job 2, we have 1,006. For job 3, we have 1,400. And general factory use of 800. Now, they're telling us to prepare a summary journal entry to record the factory labor use. Again, we're looking at factory labor use, not the manufacturing overhead for now. Okay. All right, so we have again January 31st. We have our working process. And that gives us a total of 5,200. How did I get that? I'm glad you asked. It was 2,200 plus 1,600 plus 1,400. Okay. And then we have our MOH. Okay. And MOH, we have it to be 800. The total factory labor that we use, both a combination of the direct and indirect, we said was, so we have factory labor, and that is 6,000. All right, simple as that. Hopefully it is to you. All right, next slide. We have the example 3. It says, data pertaining to job cost sheet for Deca Company, the one we did in the last two, the 2.3 and the brief exercise 2.4. That's the last two we just did. They want us to prepare the job cost sheet for each of the 3 jobs using the format shown in illustration 2.8. That's of your text. Note, you may omit the column for manufacturing overhead, again, because we're not dealing with that at this time. So remember that the job cost sheet is for specific jobs. From the job cost sheet, we move into the working process. The job cost sheet is more specific as to how much exactly that particular, job cost. All right. So now we're going to have for job 1. Job 1, we have a date, material, so date, and then we have direct material. I'm going to just shorten it. And then I have direct labor. So as at 131, I have 900 for my direct material, and then for labor we had what I think was 2,200, and that's for job 1. Now we're gonna do for job 2 again. I plead with you guys, don't judge me for job 2. We have the date, direct material, and direct labor, and it's still gonna be 31st. 31st. Direct material is 1,002 for job 2, and for direct labor we had it to be 1,600. So each of these jobs. So now we know how much we spent in total cost for direct material, direct labor for job 1. We're able to see clearly how much went for direct material for job 1, how much went for direct labor for job 2. And then lastly we have job 3, direct material, direct labor. 0131 and 0131. For direct material for our job 3, we had 700, and then for the direct labor. All right, I hope this helps. In this video, we went over assigning manufacturing cost. We explained what is meant by assigning costs. We also talked about job cost sheets and subsidiary ledger accounts. We went over 3 examples showing how to assign direct material, direct labor, and how to fill out the job cost sheets. Now in the next video, we will look into predetermined overhead cost, and I want to see you there.